Welcome to Love Liaisons, the ultimate deep dive into the highs and lows and hilarities of modern relationships. I am Kathryn.
And I'm Marina, and we'll be your love liaisons. So pour yourself a nice glass of wine.
Or a hot cup of tea, and let's dive in. So, Marina, what is it that you want to share today with our audience?
Yeah, so one thing that I've been really interested in is this idea of age gap relationships, or even just the question of at our age now, and we're pretty much the same age, 50, 51. What's the range that you would be willing to date in men? So I always like to say, I like to say jokingly, but there's a little bit of truth in it, is that I'm at that special age where I could date a gentleman who's in his 50s or his son. And yeah, if I think about really like the last 6 months, I'd say like honestly, the age range of people I've dated, let's go like the last year, have been from the high end of like 60, 61 to somebody who's 30.
Wow, Marina. Okay, so I'm a little different. I usually stick to a similar age range throughout. And keep in mind, everybody, I didn't start dating till I was in my 30s because I was married and this and that. But I would say for me, I'm 51 years old. And I would say for me, like anywhere from like 45 to like 60 is really it for a lot of reasons. I'm sure you'll share your reasons, but a lot of reasons would be I don't want someone that's too old where I'm having to, like, take care of him every day. I definitely am a caretaker, but I want someone that is going to be able to keep up with me and be able to have those conversations. I'm not saying that someone can't, do that when they're 70. I know someone who canyoneers and he's 70 years old and probably more in shape than 25-year-olds, but for me, that's my age range. So why, Marina, did you select that age? That's a broad age range.
It really is. And I do have to say these were not actual father-son pairs, but like somebody who's 50, 60 could have a 30-year-old son, no problem. But most of them have been on the older end, have been like 40s, mid to late 40s, 50s. But yeah, I did date one fella who's 30 and is really intelligent, really, but like just the youthfulness of him. Maybe I am a little bit of a cougar, but more of like a cougar vampire. Like I have this feeling of I'm touching that fountain of youth. Like, wow, it's
Is
just
that what
so
you're doing?
yes, forget the Botox. This young man is so beautiful. It's like touching a fountain of youth. And again, it depends. Like, you could have somebody in their late 50s or 60s that really looks wonderful. Um, but in general, many folks, the older they are, for me, it feels like they're just closer to death. And
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, so I mean, for me, I just feel like I have to be able, and I mentioned conversations. If I feel like the person doesn't understand because he was in a completely different era, so to speak, it's not going to jive. And where are we on the same page? Because for me, it's just not about dating and having fun. I actually want something real. And for me, one of my signs of attraction, love languages, whatever you want to say, is I love deep conversations. I love being able to have that. And people who have experienced life and are mature are going to be able to achieve that with me. And someone who's fulfilled a lot. If you're 25 years old, I'm not saying you don't speak several languages, haven't traveled the world, have a few degrees, but the likelihood that we are on the same level of what I need, it's just no. So I'm not going to go too far out. However, I know people are listening and they're thinking, oh, well, there's a 30 age gap and we get along. Do you? It also depends on maturity level and where you're living in the world, I think is a huge, huge thing.
it's really particular. Certainly, a 30-year-old is a grown up individual. I mean, I was finishing my doctoral degree when I was 30. I had a Fulbright grant. Was an alumni of the Fulbright program. And the person that I'd met that is 30, honestly, he's more successful than I am. He has a better house. He has a better home. He, as a doctor, has a better career, really, and is going to make more money. So it just depends on the person. But the reality is that I know that that's not a long-term relationship. Like, there is no way that this hot young man is going to have a long-term relationship with me. Yeah, we go out, we have fun, we can talk about a lot of different things. Also because he's traveled and lived abroad and from another country as well. It could work out. But yeah, I realize long term, like, I do want to have a long-term serious relationship, and that would be with somebody close to my age or a little bit older. That would probably be with somebody, say, like 45 to 60-ish,
Mhm, mhm.
realistically speaking.
Well, I mean, I just feel like that's where I'm at as well. But I say, hey, it depends upon if you want to have fun, go out and have fun. You just never know. And I wouldn't overthink it. I used to overthink things a lot and have a piece of paper, be like, okay, weighing the pros and cons. And I'm just thinking, you will know, you will feel it where you're like, this is my person. Like all the things line up and you're able to work on it. If both people are willing to work on it, they'll get to where they need to be. It's where one falls off the map, then you're not gonna get to where you need to be. So it doesn't even matter. The difference is if you're willing to work on it and work on yourself.
And honestly, I think the question is not so much why would I like a younger man, but I try to figure out why would this younger man like me? There's so many beautiful young women running around in bikinis all over the place. Like, you know what? I just thank God that I got lucky for a moment.
Well, that's the thing. They maybe want someone mature. I can think of someone right off the top of my head who's in her 40s and she's dating a younger man, and he feels like he hit the jackpot because she's mature. She has her career, she has her life in place, as opposed to dating someone in her 20s, not everyone in their 20s, that is still trying to figure things out. So it's just what someone's wanting in their life at that moment, and there is no wrong. Whatever you're doing, if it's something that's adding joy to your life and not causing pain elsewhere and it's legal, then go for it because life is shorter than we think. And so, do you, if you have a lot of people, family members who are forbidding the relationship or whatever it is, I'm not saying family isn't important or your circle where you go to that soothes the soul, so to speak, is not important. But at the end of the day, it is your life. And if you're not happy, then what are you doing? You eventually have to get to a point where you are now focusing on you.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents, everybody.
All right.
I'm gonna take a sip of my tea here.
Okay. Well, I'll get back to my little glass of wine, and it's almost happy hour now.
Happy
Uh,
dating.
So keep sipping
Keep loving.
and cheers for now.
Cheers.